Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, June 25, 2013. From the Caribbean, 6 CARICOM countries is placed on human trafficking watch list. In St. Vincent, a man returned from Grenada is charged with murder. 2 brothers are stabbed to death over cell phones in Trinidad. In Jamaica, an update to a story we have been following, cops arrested in connection to Trelawney robbery released. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Amrose Travel. Even as Caribbean community governments during the past year have seemingly made efforts in addressing human trafficking, the United States says many of them have still not done enough in tackling the issue. In this nexus, in its 2013 Trafficking in Persons report, the U.S. Department of State placed 6 CARICOM countries, Barbados, Guyana, Haiti, St. Lucia, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago on its Tier 2 watch list. Another 4, Antigua and Barbuda, Belize, Jamaica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines have been listed on the Tier 2 list. In distinguishing the 2 lists, Washington defines countries on the Tier 2 watch list as those whose governments do not fully comply with the minimum standards in its Trafficking Victims Protection Act, but are making significant efforts to bring themselves into compliance with those standards. And the absolute number of victims of severe forms of trafficking is, among other things, very significant or is significantly increasing. Countries on the Tier 2 list, on the other hand, are those whose governments do not fully comply with the TVPA's minimum standards, but are simply making significant efforts to bring themselves into compliance with those standards. The State Department said Haiti is a source, transit, and destination country for men, women, and children subjected to forced labor and sex trafficking. It says most of Haiti's trafficking cases comprise the estimated 150,000 to 500,000 children in domestic servitude in households throughout the French-speaking Caribbean country. The entire report is posted on hotcaribbean.com. In St. Vincent, police have charged with murder the man they returned to that country from Grenada on Saturday. Colin Coco Brown, David, 33, of Rose Hole, appeared in court on Monday, where the charges were read to him. He is the second person charged with the May 5th murder of Devon Jajust Steele, who was gunned down in Rose Place, Kingstown. Jamorni Tash, 21, of Rockies, was earlier this month charged with Steele's murder and remanded in custody. Both men are scheduled to reappear in court on October 21st for a preliminary inquiry. Meanwhile, Israel Bruce, David's lawyer, told Eyewitness News on Monday that contrary to reports, his client has not been questioned in relation to the June 13 robbery of 100,000 EC dollars from a postal worker and the shooting of a police officer who he went to help. Well-placed sources have told reporters that the arrest of David could help to crack the robbery case. The Coast Guard on Saturday returned David to that country from Grenada. He became the second suspect to arrive in that country from that neighboring nation in less than a week. Last week, Monday, Dwayne Sandy, who police had earlier said was wanted in connection with the June 13 robbery, arrived in that country along with his lawyer, Grant Connell, on a flight from Grenada. Police kept Sandy in custody for 48 hours on 2 separate occasions last week, but released him each time without bringing any charges against him. In Trinidad and Tobago, police are searching for the killers of 2 brothers, including an 11-year-old student who was stabbed to death on Sunday night as bandits sought to steal their cell phones. The police have not released the names of those killed, but said the incident occurred on Sunday night at a playing field. The authorities said that the brothers, who had been playing a game of soccer with friends at the Aranguez playing field, were stabbed several times by 2 men who sought to relieve them of their cell phones. The men later escaped. The 11-year-old recently sat the secondary school assessment and was awaiting results, while his 16-year-old brother was due to write the CXC exams. Here's an update to a story we have been following coming out of Jamaica. In our previous story, it was reported that police say they are questioning 1 woman and 8 men in relation to Sunday's robbery, kidnapping, and subsequent fatal shooting of a district constable in Wakefield, Trelawney. The policeman has been identified as Javon Lyle, who was assigned to the St. Catherine North Police Division. Reports indicate that about 10 o'clock yesterday morning, a group of men in a motor car went to a house in the Wakefield community where they held up and robbed the occupants and kidnapped one of them. A car that was parked at the house was also robbed. The police were called and the vehicle later found abandoned in the area. The police say 3 ballistic vests were found inside one of the vehicles, and the man who was kidnapped later surfaced unharmed. The policeman died in the hospital. The police say the regulation numbers printed on the vests, which were found inside the vehicle, corresponded with those of the 3 policemen attached to the St. Catherine North Division. And here's the update. The 3 policemen who were taken into custody in connection to the Wakefield Trelawney robbery Sunday night have been released. The policemen were taken into custody following revelations that 3 ballistic vests that were found on the crime scene last night belonged to them. The police say the cops' release follows investigations by detectives from the anti-corruption branch, which have revealed that their whereabouts at the time of the robbery cannot be satisfactorily accounted for. They further say investigators have uncovered information which suggests that the vest belonging to the 3 policemen was stolen from the Spanish Town Police Station and used in the robbery in Wakefield, Trelawney on Sunday. Senior Superintendent Anthony Castell, the officer in charge of the St. Catherine North Police Division, has now ordered a probe into the theft of the vests. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Stop the music! It's week 2 of our used car blowout month, and this week it's guaranteed credit approval. If we can't show you how to get approved, that car is on us. Log on now. GrecoAuto.com.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with 0 out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with 0 out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
I can't believe your mom let you take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy.
Little wildflower.
Go faster. Stop.
It'll all be alright.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie. Hey, Mom.
but just to be safe,
So don't you worry.
I got a Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or ColemanSubaru.com.
Welcome back to Can. This segment is sponsored by Clear. The World Bank and the International Monetary Fund are to conduct a comprehensive study of Barbados' financial services sector. A statement from the Central Bank of Barbados said the two Washington-based financial institutions will conduct the financial sector assessment program between July 1st and the 17th. This is the third such assessment of the island's financial services sector. The other two evaluations were completed in 2002 and 2008. And I quote, "On both occasions, the local financial services sector was deemed to be well regulated and generally compliant with the international standards established by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision and the International Association of Insurance Supervisors," the central bank said. CCB Director of Bank Supervision Marlene Bain explained that the bank and the Financial Services Commission have been jointly preparing for the review since the start of 2012. She said the preparatory work for the FSAP included a self-assessment of Barbados's compliance with the international standards for banking, insurance, and credit unions. The CCB said that the FSAP, which can be likened to a central bank's examination of a commercial bank, is a comprehensive and in-depth analysis of a country's financial sector. It said the World Bank and the IMF have been conducting these assessments since 1999 of both developed and developing countries, including the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Canada, Australia, Belgium, New Zealand, and India, among others. In Barbados, Sir Richard Hayes died on Sunday at the age of 77 years old. He was a retired physician specialist, a former parliamentarian, Minister of Finance, and opposition leader. Hayes was also the founder of the National Democratic Party. Condolences to the family from Can News. Jamaica and the United States last Thursday signed a memorandum of understanding that will see greater cooperation between both countries on matters related to climate change and environmental best practices. The agreement will see the Ministries of Water, Land, Environment, and Climate Change and Science, Technology, Energy, and Mining collaborating with the United States Agency for International Development to develop and promote environmental best practice, and a national adaptation plan will also be developed under the agreement. Environment Minister Robert Pickles-Gill and Energy Minister Philip Paulwell signed the agreement on behalf of the government of Jamaica at the Jamaica House. Pickles-Gill noted that work has already started on the climate change policy, adding that the low emission development strategy and the national adaptation plan will be developed quickly. And I quote, "Under the agreed work program, the U.S. government has pledged technical and manpower assistance to the Climate Change Advisory Committee on the establishment of climate change focal points, a technical expert to conduct analysis and provide guidance towards a climate finance policy, knowledge sharing to facilitate government of Jamaica participation in international fora on climate change and sustainable development, and advice on trilateral cooperation with other countries in low-emission development strategy," Minister Pickles-Gill stated. The U.S. government will also assist in identifying possibilities for joint collaboration and coordination in enhancing capacity for LEDs. Venezuela's new resident ambassador has given a commitment to continue dialogue that will strengthen and expand the ties of friendship between his country and Grenada. Ambassador Jorge Veloz made the commitment at a ceremony where he presented his credentials to Governor General Dame Cecile Lagranade. He says Venezuela is committed to the development of Grenada, which is testimony of its assistance in the refurbishment of the Tantine Pavilion, Ford Bridge, and the St. George's Vendors Market, among others. These programs amount to roughly $2 million in investment to Grenada. Grenada also benefits through the Venezuelan Petrocaribe program and social programs that are developed through it. Governor Lagranade commended the Spanish-speaking country for its assistance to Grenada in education, agriculture, and post-Hurricane Ivan initiative. In 2006, Grenada was the beneficiary of a grant amounting to $30 million from Venezuela, which was allocated to different areas. Grenada and Venezuela established diplomatic ties in 1977. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.